Yep, you read that correctly. Another resignation at the ECG Church of another very loyal member of the ECG. So Bushiri has lost another pastor. So he's record breaking. I just leaving. The man them is just out and leaving. And so we got an update to a few days back. I did get this a couple of days back, and did have other stories that I was covering and other particular subjects that, so I didn't get around to actually making this video. And so yes, you heard that correctly, Basalwani. I repeat, Bushiri has lost another spiritual son who has been there loyal for a minute. This is the spiritual son right here, as you see him in the picture. These are some early pictures. For those that have followed ECG, they will know that these particular pictures in particular, I think it was an event which Bushiri had or some, and that particular spiritual son was there. And so this particular spiritual son has handed in his resignation, so they say. Okay, these are some old pictures. You remember this t-shirt that Bushiri was being grilled for when they were saying that, hey, this is my diva t-shirt. People that wear these my diva t-shirts have funny tendencies. And so yeah, that's the spiritual son who has tendered in his resignation. And if you don't remember, some of these pictures you might actually remember, some of these events you might remember. There was a very famous, I don't remember if it was 2018 or 2017, I don't remember exactly the period. There was this event he did, I think it was in India. Can't remember exactly. Even in that event, that spiritual son was there. You'll see him there on the side, right in front. So he's a close one to Bushiri, this one. This is a very close Bushiri spiritual son. Now, if you don't remember that, there is a very popular picture you might remember. There is a very popular, you know, Bushiri has these moments. These trending moments. There's this particular jacket here. These pictures that you might have seen of him in this particular jacket that turned back to the time when his former brother-in-law, Tana, was still under his ECG and stuff back then, when they were still big in Pretoria. That spiritual son, you can see him right there as well. So he goes back. This particular spiritual son goes back a couple of years. I don't know if it's 10 years by now or how many years. Now, even when Bushiri made his move over to Malawi, he would travel there. And you can see him there on the particular stage of the thingy. And you'll remember this is not long back. After they rebranded for Jesus Nation and they announced this funny, weird pulpit thingy. You remember that whole thing. You see him there being the one holding the mic and so forth, with other pastors in the background who have been heading other different churches. You know him on the side there, and this particular pastor, I think, is in Limpopo currently, and so forth, right? Yeah, the series is replacing African pastors with these pastors, with his own pastors. So that spiritual son, they are saying he has tendered in his resignation. Okay, just to be very clear. So now you have seen him. Now you know who am I talking about. So what exactly was the resignation? Now, I want to be very clear here. I didn't get this now, but the resignation letter did not contain a date to when this particular message was sent out. And this is the letter right here. Hlanganani Matebula. Okay? That's the name of the mandem. That's the man of the pastor. So, some of the things that he goes on to state inside here or inside the letter, I want to read, and then let's hear what the resignation states or says. The question, does you guess before we read the letter? maybe there's anything that he mentioned, say, hey, I don't agree. You never see those, isn't it? But anyways, this is the letter right here. You put it out. It says, to whom this may concern. Interesting. To whom what? You understand? To whom what? It may concern. Please accept my official letter of resignation from ECG, the Jesus Nation as they call it. This decision was not made lightly and comes after much, okay? It comes after much prayer and reflection. Everybody says, it's a classic. And I am truly grateful for the time I have spent as a part of this church, the fellowship, teaching, and support I have received have been a blessing to my life. It says at this time I feel led in a different direction and believe it is best to step away. Like I did mention on the resignation of Swazi, that there's this thing at ECG that when ECG has big events, the pastors under ECG, they are not allowed to do their own thing. They can't do like a whole service. Like you are not an individual branch. You are just a mimic picture of what the big branch is up to. So to a point where some are you are even actually required to either fly there when they have those big events and stuff like that. So stepping away, although you'll notice they always stay connection, I will remain connected, that whole thing. I don't know if he does that. I haven't read the full thing. People always get pissed off with me saying, hey Ricky, you should have read the letter. No, I don't. I react here when I read it here with you. If I go through making the video and I see there's nothing, I'm just simply gonna scrap the video. Sometimes I read it right here. It's literally my first time seeing it here. I've gotten the info, I've gotten who it is and thing. So by the way, thank you very much to the person who sent me. Highly appreciate your thing, your scoop has the scoop has been heavily and so it goes on to say, so want to step away, please know that this decision is not made out of hurt or conflict. Okay, everybody say that. But rather as a personal step into my spiritual journey. I am thankful for I'm thankful for the many relationships formed and the spiritual growth I have experienced during my time here. I live with appreciation and respect for the leadership and congregants of the ECG. Please accept this letter as my formal resignation and know that I continue to pray for the ongoing ministry and growth of this church. That's the difference of this particular one. He's not saying, I'm going to be connected as the whole Swazi thing, which is a bit weird. You are resigning, you resign. And so forth. But here, he states that he wants to charter his own journey. And as I did show, this man has been with ECG for a minute. These particular pictures that I was sent are very specific. These are pictures that when Bushiri was kind of stating how international his brand was or his ministry was, he would show these particular pictures where there's majority Indian people, majority Asian people in the pictures to show that their ministry was going outside of just being in South Africa. Because remember, he used to get a lot of this flack of saying, his ministry is just in South Africa, right? And so this was kind of like solidifying. This is when he was kind of solidifying that, this ministry goes into other countries. And so to see that particular Hlanganani gentleman there in the picture there, it tells you how far back he goes. Now, Bushiri can say whatever he wants. South Africa did mark him. South Africa left its mark. South Africa left a fingerprint on him. He will not be able to do what he did here. Yeah, you see, not because South Africa is the greatest country or anything like that. No. When Bushiri was here, I think that's also some part of the thing that really hurts him the most. When he was here, he was the biggest. When he was here, Bushiri could do, man, this man them shut down people's churches. Churches shut down. Their pastors still hurt. They're still suffering from the wounds of the days of Bushiri. When Bushiri would gather 30 to 40,000 people outside the church. Rain come rain or thunderstorm. Stampedes, what you name it. Per week. Bushiri was doing those things. The things he did here, can't do anywhere. He can't do them anywhere. Can go and gather 20,000 church, 20,000 location. Here he once gathered 70,000 at FNB. Till date, he still posts those pictures. Till date, he still posts videos of him at thingy, because the things that Bushiri did when he was here. And it's always like that, Life, you tend to have certain experiences that are much more than others. You just be honest. Be honest with yourself. The infrastructure that South Africa has and all that, it allowed him to bring in people. When he said international visitors conference, it meant international, okay? It didn't mean no. People flew in for services. You have no idea. People don't understand how big Bushiri was. People flew in just to attend service and go back to their country after service. There are multi-millionaires that used to fly to Bushiri's church. That level of big, he ain't gonna get. He's not getting that. Yes, he still has people going up to and down to with Malawi. But what he heard here, completely different. Historic Reality Show with daily Christian commentary videos. Other episodes are to be down in the pinned comments. So, hey, on this channel, we keep you updated. That's why people are subscribed. If you are not, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We will still inform you. even if you don't subscribe. That's why you don't hear me say subscribe. It's fine. We will still update you even if you don't subscribe. I'll see you later. It's Ricky. Have a blessed day.